I know that my sister had taken the SAT before me, and thus my whole family knew that the SAT could be quite a big trouble. So after my 10th grade, I decided that I might as well just get the SAT over with before I have other college applications and other standardized testing procedures to take. Therefore, we consulted a few friends and we found out about you through them. We found that this place was quite organized, we found it quite professional, and we also found that we felt confident that Shaista knew that she could help us out. For me, the SAT was more like a puzzle than it was a test. Before finding out what the answer could be, I had to find out what the question itself was asking. And this is where the IvyAspire SAT classes helped me out. Not only did they go through the way to answer the question, but also the way to decipher the question itself, where I could find keywords that would indicate what the question is asking and also do the same in the answer. So the IvyAspire classes helped me to do that. And not only that, they also provided practice questions and also a proper testing atmosphere for me to get used to. Strengths and weaknesses were originally identified through the diagnostic test. So once that was conducted, I found that I was particularly strong in the math section. In the diagnostic test, I had scored a 720, but I was weaker in the other sections. So at that point, it was determined that I needed to focus more on the critical reading and writing sections. Shaista was always there to show me where I went wrong and also explain to me what I could do to not make the same mistake in the future. In addition to this, the teachers at IvyAspire provided ways for me to decipher the questions again, to know what the question is asking. My writing score originally, it was in the low 600s, but in the SAT, in the final SAT, I boosted it up to a 750. I focused mainly on the grammatical rules. They were enforced a lot, and also they were taught very rigorously throughout the IvyAspire curriculum. So this was one of the main bases of the writing section, and by teaching me that, it helped me to boost my SAT score a lot. In addition, when I first started doing SAT practice, I found that I was very weak in the essay. I didn't know what to write, and also I couldn't finish. I couldn't write it quickly enough, and I couldn't formulate my thoughts well enough. So through practice and also discussion of what kind of topics we can bring up in the essay, I was able to improve in that. In the diagnostic test, I started out with a 610 in writing, a 600 in critical reading, and a 720 in math. And in the end, I had an 800 in math, a 750 in writing, and a 690 in critical reading. So this was only achieved because of my practice and IvyAspire's tips and tricks, which could help me decipher the questions and find out the answers. Once again, IvyAspire provided a lot of practice for me and a lot of growth. I would definitely recommend taking help, because when you look at the SAT for the first time, it just looks like a bunch of words on a piece of paper. It's impossible for you to decipher and also find out how you can answer the question. Whereas if you take professional help, they've been through it many times, they've analyzed it, and they can easily show you what the question is asking, what you should look out for in the test. IvyAspire provided me with the opportunity to get my score much higher, and it also made it relatively easy for me. Without IvyAspire, it would have taken a lot more time, and time was a big constraint in my case, whereas IvyAspire was both efficient and successful.